Someone said to me the other day, just tell me 3 foods I should stop eating if I don't want to get dementia. And my reply was, okay, I'll tell you 3 foods that you should eat a lot less of, as long as you also let me tell you 3 foods that you should eat more of. Because that's the problem with the way the Western world eats. Yeah, sure, the American diet is loaded with things that are notoriously bad for your heart and your brain and your overall health, but that's just half the problem. The other half is what's missing. There are things your brain really needs in order to function at its best, and most people are not getting nearly enough of those things from the food they eat. Today, I want to talk about the one single food that is most missing from the American diet. Hi, I'm Tony Daring of GoCogno.com, the website for people with mild cognitive impairment. If I asked you what foods you should eat for better brain health, you would probably give me a lot of answers. Leafy green vegetables, blueberries, walnuts, tuna, olive oil, red wine. These are well-known brain foods, but the last thing most people think of is whole grains. As you can see in this illustration, of all the healthy food groups, whole grains are by far the single greatest deficiency in the Western diet. Which is not to say we don't eat grains. We eat plenty of grains, if anything, too much. But it's the wrong kind of grains. It tends to be grains that have been refined and processed and that we eat in foods like white bread or white rice or sugary breakfast cereals. This is something I was talking about recently with Sarah Locke, who's the executive director of the Global Council on Brain Health. She said that while we are bombarded with refined grain products, whole grains are hard to find even if we're looking for them. She told me it's a lot easier to find refined, processed grains on the shelves of our grocery stores. From a barrier perspective, you really have to work to find the whole grains. And if you want to understand why that's such a problem, consider this. Every major diet associated with better brain health and better overall health, whether you're talking about the Mediterranean diet, the Mind diet, the DASH diet, the Nordic diet, the Okinawan diet, they all recommend eating less refined grain and more whole grains as part of an overall healthy diet. What are whole grains? Well, here are some good choices. The Mind diet recommends 3 servings of whole grains a day, and that's really not that hard to do. It's something that you can kind of sneak into your diet without really making major changes in what you're already eating. Sarah Locke's suggestions include eat shredded wheat, oatmeal, or bran flakes for breakfast. Have whole wheat toast or whole grain muffins instead of white bread toast. Choose brown rice instead of white rice. Add brown rice to a soup, or add flaxseed to a soup or a salad. The Old Ways Whole Grain Council has a lot of other good suggestions, and I'm including those in a link below. I hope you find this helpful, and if you want to know more about diet and cognition, I invite you to get my guide, 10 Foods to Eat for Better Brain Health and 5 to Avoid. It shows you what to eat and how much and what to cut back on. It also shows you where to find the best brain-healthy recipes. This guide is free when you sign up for my weekly brain health email, which also is free. To get it, just go to GoCogno.com 10 foods. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, as always, be kind to your mind.